in all the years that you've been working individually with entrepreneurs. Some have thrived, some have probably muddled along. I would imagine that there's probably a couple out there that have failed. What have you seen are the keys to success for entrepreneurs in general? Obviously, we have a very diverse audience of business owners, and what are those common denominators in success?
Well, first is probably not listening to everybody naysayer when they say no, because most people don't want you to succeed. So there are always going to be naysayers around you. It's very difficult. Most entrepreneurs for the whole are individualistic. They don't like to listen to people. But you have to listen to people, but don't listen to the naysayers. The second thing is perseverance. You have to keep going under any cost. You know, if you think you're right, maybe you have to change a little bit, but you have to keep persevering. The third thing is that you have to can't look at too many opportunities at once. Most people fail because they start off really good and they said, okay, this is great, and they jump into another idea. So until your basic idea or your basic business is off the ground and reaches critical mass, and I'll define critical mass as a business that lives off its own cash flow. Once you get to your own cash flow, you can look at another idea. When you're in business, a funny thing happens. When you're not in business and you're looking for an idea, you can't find anything. When you're in business, all of a sudden, you have 100 opportunities. And what happens is most people go after these opportunities instead of concentrating and building a solid base. So, you know, those are some of the important things that you have to look at.
What about things like, you know, is it a matter of marketing? Is it a matter of human resources? Going above and beyond the personality and the perseverance? Does anything stand out?
How many people in this room are on the sales side of everything, came from the sales side? Okay, so that's the overwhelming majority, which is not surprising. Most entrepreneurs who start out businesses there are a few that come from the accounting side, but most people come from the sales side of the business. And so to be a salesperson, man or woman, you have to have the ability to have a door slammed in your face and go on from there.
Human resources, sales, marketing, what do you, I mean, in terms of the people who you've seen succeed?
There's two things you have to do. You have to be able to make a sale, and that sale has to be able to make money. You can't say, I'm going to make this sale, and I'm going to make it up in volume. I'm only going to make a little bit of money. You have to decide what business you're in to start with. And that business has to stand on its own, and you can't go after cheap business, and you shouldn't go after commodity business. If you're in the service, how many people here are on the service side of the business? Again, overwhelming majority in the service side of the business. There's a thing called capacity in the service side of the business. Whether you are you're working and you're an IT consultant business, or you're in the trucking business and you own 2 trucks, you have a certain amount of capacity. What happens is if you use up that capacity and sell it at a cheap rate, you have to put on more capacity, like an additional person. So you're better off working for full dollars at 4 hours a week than half dollars at 8 hours a day, 4 hours a day. Because what happens is there's a couple of things that happens. If you're charging $40 an hour for your services in the service business, and you say, I got all this downtime, I'm going to charge $20 an hour, a few things happen. The first thing is there's no secrets in this world. Your other customers are going to find out. And they're going to be angry. Why are you charging me double what you're charging my friend Joe or Sally? The second thing is that when you get a really good paying customer around, you don't have the time to handle it. So you have to understand what business you're in. You have to understand what capacity is all about. You have to understand that you're not in a commodities business, and if you can't sell it at a good price, then you don't belong in that business. You can't start off with cheap business and think you're going to end up in a really great business. People try it. I'm not saying that everybody fails at it, but you're better off having that persistence, know what the market is, know what your competitors are, what they charge, what you distinguish yourself from them. Your competitors, obviously, and really define who you are. If you're in a similar business, and I know I met some IT consultants tonight, there must be 6 of them in the room here tonight, you probably know all your competitors, and you know what they charge. And if you're in that same marketplace, you don't have to go 20% less than them.